Hey guys, welcome back to another episode. We did say we were going to do Twisters, but funny thing about that, we lied. So we're just doing the our little August roundup for today. We're going to talk about some of the movies that we've seen, new movies, old movies, just all the movies we've seen in August. I'm roping in a few movies that I saw at the end of July because I didn't see as many movies as I know Noah did. He saw like 40 movies this month, and I saw 10. So I'm just throwing in the last two theater releases I saw last week of July to puff it up. And I know Nate saw like 4 movies this month, and 3 of them were for the podcast.
Yep. So I'm gonna talk about some of the shows I watched this month because I did watch a couple of shows instead of movies.
This is a movie podcast, not a TV show. No, I'm kidding. I don't care.
Yeah, come on, Nate. We don't talk about shows here, idiot.
All right, my bad.
Noah,
Watch
do you
more
want to read
movies.
off? You want to read off the list of the movies you did, and then I'll read off my list, and then we can just talk about them.
Okay, yeah. So, just last night I watched Inglourious Basterds, and then I went on a whole Star Wars marathon for I think I did over the course of like 3 or 4 days or something. So literally every Star Wars movie, even the 2 anthology films or whatever, which I don't really watch much. But yeah, I had to watch Disney Star Wars movies. I don't think I'm doing that again.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, and then I watched Iron Man, then Kill Bill 2, and then obviously The Room, The Island, Terminator 2, Pulp Fiction, Horrible Bosses, Son-in-Law, 4-Year-Old Virgin. Stupid film, but funny.
Wait,
The
they made a
Waterboy,
movie about Nate?
and then The Sandlot, Alien, Predator, Good Will Hunting, Shawshank Redemption, and then obviously Django for our podcast, Kill Bill, and then Fury, which also for the podcast.
Okay,
So
so
yeah, I
this
watched a
month,
lot of movies.
yeah, you watched a lot more than me. I only watched 10. This month I watched Django. That was for the podcast. Deadpool Wolverine. That was also for the podcast. I saw that movie 4 times.
Damn.
So yeah.
Good
Long
movie.
Legs. A good movie, yeah. Long Legs. I saw that in theaters when it came out. That was one I saw in July. I saw it like July 27th, I think. And I saw Fury last night. I saw The Crow, which is a movie I'm gonna be happy to talk about. Then I watched Mixed Nuts, Shakes the Clown, The Room, the god awful fucking Borderlands movie, and then the somehow even worse Going Overboard, which is
The somehow worse.
yeah. I put Borderlands and Going Overboard is worse than The Room.
I might have to watch
crazy
these
work.
movies.
Because my thought process was, at least when I watch The Room, I enjoy myself. I laugh. I have a good time.
Yeah.
I feel fucking nothing watching those other 2 movies.
Or when you watch The Room, you at least finish the movie.
Yeah.
You don't walk out of the theater
okay.
45 minutes in.
Wait, you really left the theater for Borderlands? It was that bad?
Yeah, I left 40 minutes into the movie.
Oh my gosh.
And like the first 40 minutes, I was in an empty theater, so I was just sitting on my fucking phone the whole time. Like, if you ask me one thing that happened in that movie, I don't think I can remember.
So
They're right behind us, aren't they?
So why did you pay money to watch Borderlands?
Because I was bored and it was at like 3 p.m., so it was a matinee ticket, so I paid like $6.
$6 too many.
Yeah, you're right.
It's 10% on Rotten Tomatoes. I'm looking this up. Jeez.
It's gone up?
It's gone.
What was it at before?
Like 6.
So it debuted at a 4, and then it went up to 7, and now it's at 10. So it's spreading.
All right, what's the closest theater that's showing Borderlands to me? Actually, is it on streaming? I don't want to even go to the theater for this. It's got to be on streaming, right?
Yeah, it's on our totally legal streaming site.
Well, the question is it high quality or not? Because the totally legal streaming site, sometimes can be lower quality before it gets on actual streaming.
Me and one of my friends watched it on Saturday on our totally legal streaming site. For legal reasons, this is a joke.
Yeah.
But yeah, the quality of it was fine. It wasn't like
I think the bad quality might make the movie better.
Probably you can't.
No,
If you watch
the
it in
ol-
bad quality, you can't tell that Kate Blanchett's playing a 20-year-old when she's 65.
Right, so the only thing under where to watch when I look up Borderlands is from YouTube for $25. A theater ticket is cheaper than that.
I know. I went to look up where we could watch Twisters when we were still doing the Twisters review, and it's like pay $20 on YouTube. I'm like, that is fucking like $10 more than a movie theater ticket.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm
that
not
is.
paying I'm not paying $10 more to watch fucking Twisters. I'm not paying anything to watch Twisters, which is why we didn't do an episode on it.
Speaking of paying, did you guys see that they're doing a re-release of the Batman?
Ooh, I probably won't go see it.
The Matt Reeves one.
Yeah, the Robert Pattinson one.
The Robert Pattinson.
Yeah, Pattinson. I
No,
was not gonna go see it. Then I saw the popcorn bucket and it's like, fuck, now I gotta go see it.
it's a
What
picture
if
of
I
it's a
what if I drove 45 minutes to watch Borderlands? This is the closest theater that's showing it. It's literally almost like in Minneapolis. I don't want to drive down to freaking Minneapolis.
The drive to go see Borderlands would probably be longer than how long you stay in the theater for.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially for me. What's the popcorn bucket for the Batman re-release? Is it just like
It
Gil
is
Coulson's head with his mouth taped shut?
no, it is a bat signal that lights up.
Ooh, that's hot.
It
Uh,
actually does look pretty cool.
I probably won't go see that movie just because I saw it 3 times in theaters. So I've already dedicated about 10 hours to my life to seeing that movie in theaters. So I don't think I need to do it again.
That's fair. I mean, I'm a popcorn bucket fan, so anytime I see a movie, I get the popcorn bucket.
Did you get that Dune 2 popcorn bucket? No popcorn, extra butter.
No, because I didn't see that shitty movie.
Oh well, you like Fury, so
I still
uh,
haven't seen any of the Dune movies. I might watch them
they're
next month
good.
though.
They're they're kind of boring space dramas, but they're good movies.
Is number two overrated? Because I feel like everybody like
yes,
just
yes, it
completely
is.
yaps about that movie.
Wait, Nate, have you not seen it?
I haven't, but I know it's overrated.
What?
I saw it twice in theaters. I really enjoyed it, but we can talk about that in a month where we actually watch that movie. Um,
Yeah.
Not watching
uh,
Dune.
okay, so Borderlands. Let's shit on Borderlands some more.
Well, do I not get to say what I watched this month?
Oh yeah.
Okay, sorry.
Let me
What did
have his list.
I'm sorry.
All right,
Shut up. You like Fury?
all right. I'll just leave.
I
Anyways,
love how we like do this when I literally gave Fury like 3.5 stars, which is a good score.
Yeah, I gave Fury like 4 stars. I liked it, but it's funny to shit on.
Yeah.
all right. Anyways, so what I watched this month, so like I said, I didn't watch a lot of movies. Pretty much everything that we did on the podcast, so Deadpool, Django, The Room. I watched Back to the Future again. I've rewatched that movie probably 100 times by now. Then some of the shows I watched, I did a lot of rewatches of some of the older MCU shows. So I rewatched all
Why
of
would you do that?
Daredevil because
Oh,
Daredevil's
Oh,
okay.
fantastic.
Okay. I thought you meant like the Disney Plus shows. I'd be like, why would you want to go back to
Oh,
like
some of
those besides like
I
Loki?
watched. I did rewatch Loki.
Yeah, that's like the only good
Only
one.
season
That,
2, and then I rewatched Moon Knight. I like Moon Knight. I know it's not. It's probably like other than Loki, probably the highest rated one. I think.
I
WandaVision's
think I tuned out at that point from MCU shows once Moon Knight came around. So
Yeah, I mean, I liked Moon Knight, and then I rewatched Hawkeye just because my wife hadn't seen it and she wanted to watch it, so we watched it together.
I don't think I've ever seen Hawkeye.
I don't think I have
It's
either.
it's got Vincent D'Onofrio's Kingpin in it, so I had to watch
Yeah.
it.
That's like one of the few that I think might be worth my time, but even that I probably won't because I don't normally watch shows anyway, especially not boring MCU shows. So
Mhm. If I'm watching a show, I'm watching something like Breaking Bad or The Wire.
yeah,
You know, something that's actually good.
yeah, I pretty much just stick to like the same like few shows that I watch and rarely branch out really, just because I don't like having the time commitment to watch an entire show.
Breaking
Yeah,
Bad and The
actually,
Wire. You're really hitting that stereotype, aren't you?
dude, they're good shows. I mean,
Hey,
if you
hey,
actually watched Breaking Bad, you know it's a
yeah.
good show.
Honestly,
Ryan,
Breaking Bad
Do
is
you
up
get the
there
joke?
for.
No, is that the two shows that all film students love? Is that what the joke is?
No. So there was a Family Guy bit right when Breaking Bad was like halfway through, and it was Peter watching Breaking Bad, and the whole program was just like a hypnosis of a voice saying, "You will recommend Breaking Bad to everybody. Breaking Bad is
Oh,
the best show you've ever seen,
Yep,
except for
yep,
maybe The
it is.
Wire."
I have seen that. Yes, I do remember that now.
Well, Breaking
But
Bad is the best show ever. So
yeah,
Except for maybe The Wire.
let's all point and
no.
laugh at Nate because he's never seen Breaking Bad.
How? Yeah. How have you never seen that show? What shows
Because
have?
it's such a long commitment, and I still need to finish Game of
Oh my
Thrones.
gosh, bro, doing Game of Thrones with that terrible ending before Breaking Bad with like the best ending ever.
I started Game of Thrones first.
Well, that's your fault. You should have started the better show first.
And Nate, the whole Breaking Bad mythos is only 10 seasons in a movie. It's not that bad.
Yeah, but isn't it like
Well, okay, that's when you combine
15
just.
episodes?
We're talking about just Breaking Bad and not Better Call Saul here too.
Yeah, because if I watch Breaking Bad, I gotta watch Better Call Saul too.
Better
Well,
Call
not
Saul's
like
good.
right away, but
And I have to watch
I
El
wait for a
Camino.
little in between those.
You have to watch
You don't
what?
really.
Yeah, you don't have to watch El
It,
Camino. It's not
Yeah,
that good.
El
I don't
Camino's not that good.
I don't have to, but
I
if
mean,
I'm
it's,
gonna watch Breaking Bad, I'm gonna watch El Camino.
I don't know. The movie was kind of pointless a little bit, but I mean, it was kind of cool, I guess.
I think it's a little
Anyway,
funny how you guys were ready to shit on me for talking about the MCU shows, and I started off with Daredevil, which is probably the best one.
yeah.
I
love
always
Well, no,
don't
Daredevil.
count
yeah.
that.
See, whenever I think MCU shows, I think Disney Plus stuff, which sucks.
Yeah, which is fair. Like I'll never watch The Defenders again because that's horrible.
I don't think I ever watched that.
It's bad.
Yeah, I
It
heard it.
is pretty bad.
Well, because Daredevil is fantastic. I love Daredevil. Jessica Jones is all right. Luke Cage is cool. And then they did Iron Fist, which was terrible. And then they did The Defenders, which was somehow even worse.
I think I only watched Daredevil, and I didn't watch like some of the other stuff.
I think I've watched
They're like
Daredevil.
half good. They
Punisher's
got a
alright.
50% track record. Oh yeah, Punisher. I forgot about Punisher. Punisher's good.
I don't think I ever saw it.
That's if you haven't seen it, that's one I would recommend because that's actually a good show.
Rare good Marvel
And,
show.
yeah, that's the no.
Yeah,
Wait.
That's what popped in my head when you said Punisher.
Which is funny because that's like the saddest scene in the whole show, and it's become a meme.
I don't even know what the
Yes,
context is. So
he's watching his entire family get brutally murdered in front of him.
that's tough.
and then, and then because haha delivery funny, he's like, wait. He got turned into a meme.
Wait, that's not very funny. Seeing somebody die. Okay, all right. I'm gonna shit on Borderlands now.
All right, yeah, let's go for it.
So, Noah, I know since you're not a loyal viewer to the channel, you probably didn't watch my Borderlands review. Or listen,
I did not.
or listen to us talk about it on the podcast episode you weren't on.
I
But
was too busy watching good movies.
but so this movie's budget was like $150 million.
What?
Ooh.
Right?
How?
Yeah. Well, I
Oh,
think it's
it all went to Kevin Hart and Kate
yeah.
Blanchett.
It's it and Jack Black.
Yeah, but he was only voicing a character, so he got less than he would get.
That's fair. But yeah, I think it was money laundering. I think that's the actual reason it was.
It's like The Room.
Yeah, but The Room was only $6 million, so that's like funny money laundering. $150 million is very bad money laundering.
Hold on, I need to
Unless
look
I'm
up the
doing it.
studio. What was the studio that made Borderlands?
I don't know the studio, but I know it was like Gearbox because Gearbox made the game, so I know they had something to do with the fucking.
Yeah,
Uh,
Gearbox made the game.
yeah, I know they had something to do with the movie. Somehow, even though the movie has fucking nothing to do with the game.
Okay, so I was looking up Borderlands, so they got like some other search things where it's like, and one of them, like one of the drop down things, is like why to watch, and the first thing that pops up is the plot is solid, the characters are fun, and the action sequences are thrilling. What do you have to say to that, Ryan?
Uh, so what was the first thing?
The plot is solid.
I can't remember a single fucking thing that happened in the plot.
Oh, it was I'm sorry, I don't mean to jump in, but it was Lionsgate that made the movie.
Oh, why am I not surprised? Um, no, but the basic plot of the movie is Kate Blanchett's character, who's playing a 20-year-old when she's I think 56. Um, she's a bounty hunter and she's going to collect this one dude's daughters. And then the daughter ends up being able to like open the vault that has all the money in it, but actually she can't, and the main character can, and Jamie Lee Curtis has her tits out in the scene. Um, which does happen. But that's all I can remember from the plot.
All right, so uh, Kate Blanchett is 55, right?
Yeah, yeah.
If we're basing it from Lilith from the first Borderlands, she is 22 years old.
Yep. Sounds about right. So what was the second thing that Why to Watch said?
I think I closed out of it, but I think it said something about like good characters or action sequences were thrilling or some BS like that.
Okay. So characters, this is a comedy movie. None of them made me laugh. I didn't laugh a single time in the 45 minutes I was in this movie. I got a light exhale from the nose from one thing Jack Black said, I think. But that was about it. I got a little chuckle. And action sequences, what the fuck? This movie was recorded on like a fucking GoPro.
But it's $110 million film.
Yeah, I know. Like literally, like I guarantee this movie was made to be a rated R movie, but they cut it down to PG-13 because there are so many times where like they'll shoot a gun at a character and then like it won't hit and the camera will just cut away, or they'll be having a sword fight and the camera's moving around like it does fucking epilepsy 27 times. The camera looks like a fucking seizure victim, just moving all around. Not a good time. But it was somehow still not the worst movie I saw this month.
This movie lost $100 million at the box office.
I wish it lost more.
Budget of it's so Wikipedia says this budget was
What was that?
5.1 million.
You just cut out like completely.
Sorry. So all right. So Wikipedia says that the budget for Borderlands was 110 to 120 million. Right?
Mm-hmm.
It made 25 million at the box office.
To be fair, my local theater, the one I go to, has one. So this movie came out less than a month ago, right? It came out August 9th, I think.
Yeah.
So it came out 20 days ago. My local theater has one showing at 9:25 p.m. tonight. That's how you know this movie is dog shit.
Like even
My
like all right. So I'm looking for like other like box office or like shitty movies, right? So we've got The Last Airbender, which had a bigger budget but still made 320 million.
it made that much money.
Yeah, 319.7.
Dang.
I mean, I guess it's probably the IP, honestly.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh
yeah.
man,
But you
Borderlands.
know I subjected myself to some shit when this wasn't even the fucking worst movie I saw. And
Yeah, what's next on your list, Ryan?
that honor would go to Going Overboard, which is it's an Adam Sandler movie in the most vague sense of whatever the fuck that means. Um, So this is a movie that came out in 1989. This was before Adam Sandler was even on SNL. Like, so this is still when he's like unpolished and doesn't know how to fucking make a movie.
Or do stand up comedy apparently.
Oh, definitely not. No, God, fuck no. There's one scene, and it's the only scene I remember. It's like this like hairy French dude doing comedy on like the boat, and he said, or no, he's Jewish. He's Jewish, and he says he wants to bury his head into this girl's Star of David, and that's pretty much when I
All
turn the movie.
right.
That's pretty much when I turn the movie off. I'm like, that's enough for me, man.
That's insane work.
And it's even worse because isn't Adam Sandler like notably very Jewish?
He has a whole animated movie about Hanukkah.
Oh, dude, 8 Crazy Nights. What a fucking movie. I'll be reviewing it in like 2 weeks.
Solid movie. Definitely
Are,
not his worst.
so are you really
Yeah,
gonna watch every single Adam Sandler movie?
I'm gonna try.
Jeez.
If you
I
guys
don't know
don't
if I could
know,
do that. Watch every movie from a single actor, especially one that's been in that many movies.
I know. So for the viewers who
He,
don't know, I am currently doing a month of Adam Sandler on my YouTube channel. We were
And
one video in.
of all the
What's up?
people, Adam Sandler too.
Well, this is a thing that I said I was gonna do in like fucking January. Um, and I just stopped making YouTube videos until August. So I didn't do it. So now I feel like I kind of have to do it as like a make good, you know?
Nuh-uh.
All like 20 subscribers I have that love my work and hang on to dear life for every video I come out with.
all
But
right,
yeah,
so
I'm
Ryan,
gonna try.
where did you get to with the Adam Sandler marathon?
Like, where am I at so far?
Yeah, what's the most recent one you've watched?
Mixed nuts. So my next movie is Billy Madison.
All right, well at least you're getting a good one. So you watched Coneheads and Airheads then?
I did not. Those were the two I skipped. Coneheads, he's in like 2 scenes, so I just skipped it. I'm gonna do movies where he's like a main character. I'm not gonna do
Movies that
movies
he
where he's
stars in.
yeah, not where he's just like a cameo or in a few scenes. And Airheads, I could not find anywhere. It wasn't like it wasn't even working on our totally legal streaming site. It wouldn't let me watch it.
They don't want you to watch that movie.
I know, which is weird because it has Adam Sandler and Steve Buscemi in it, which sounds like it'd be way more
And
fun
Brendan
than fucking
Fraser.
yeah. It sounds like it'd be way more fun than fucking Shakes the Clown or Mixed
Look,
Nuts or whatever fucking
li-
Adam Sandler shit you watch.
listen to this cast. We got Brendan Fraser, Steve Buscemi, Adam Sandler, Chris Farley, and Judd Nelson.
Dude, that does sound good.
That's a great cast.
That
Oh,
is a
he's
really good card.
no, he gets to watch Deuce Bigelow, Male Gigolo soon.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
You've
Goated
got some
movie
good
right there.
movies. You've got some good movies
Hey,
coming up.
hold
You
on.
got Billy Madison, Happy Gilmore, The Wedding Singer, Waterboy, Big Daddy,
I know. I'm really hitting my stride here.
Wait, when
Little
was wait
Nicky.
Adam Sandler's and Deuce Bigelow? Hold on. No.
He's
Yeah,
probably just a cameo.
Yeah, he's
he
definitely a
is.
cameo.
But
I don't remember him in that. Just watch it
he
anyway,
is.
though.
I'm still probably gonna watch it just because I like Deuce Bigelow.
Yeah, it's so stupid. It's not even good, but it's so bad it's good.
Mr. Deeds is coming up too. I love Mr. Deeds.
That's all right.
I think it's my second favorite Sandler movie. Maybe third.
When is uh when is my favorite movie of all time, Chuck and Larry, coming up? Probably not for a fucking while.
Oh, Chuck and Larry. That's like 2008, I think. 2009, maybe.
You know what the saddest part of this is I'm doing this Adam Sandler marathon, and I've gotten through some bad movies, but we're really hitting the good movies pretty early, which doesn't bode well.
Are you gonna do like all the animated movies too? Like, are you gonna do all the Hotel Transylvanias, or are you just gonna do like?
I don't know yet. That'll be a game time decision, honestly.
That's fair.
My original
Hotel
goal was
Transylvania questionable to play.
yes. My goal, I'm probably honestly not gonna do Murder Mystery 2 and Hustle, just because my goal is to get to Hubie Halloween, and then I can just kind of piggyback off of that into my Halloween month, you know?
You're not going to do Hustle? Like his
I'll do it
I feel
eventually.
like,
his best movie?
I'll do it
yeah, I think
eventually,
you
but
have to do Hustle.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think it's his best movie, but it's still it's up there though.
dude, you obviously haven't watched Mixed Nuts if you think fucking
You know what? I can't have any opinion if I haven't watched Going Overboard yet.
or Mixed
E-
Nuts. Mixed Nuts is the greatest movie of all time.
even like the poster for Going Overboard looks like it was made for $8.
It's a 1.4 on Letterboxd.
Going Overboard looks like a South Park fucking episode.
The
No,
worst
like
the worst rating I've ever seen on Letterboxd though isn't even from that. It's from Dragon Ball Evolution, which is I think a 0.9 if I remember.
let me see this.
I think that's the only movie I've ever seen that had a 0 point whatever.
You said
Dragon Ball
Evolution.
Evolution, where half the cast of Shameless decided they wanted to be in a Dragon Ball movie.
Yeah, very much. But I might have to watch it one day, just like when I start watching all the bad movies.
We'll make it our bad movie of the month for like fucking January. I don't know.
I think
Yeah.
it would be hilarious if I watched it, never having seen an episode of like the anime ever.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
yeah,
haven't
yeah.
either, but I might just go for it anyway.
I go into it with no expectations of what it's supposed to be like, and it just happens to be like the best movie ever because I
It's
don't know what the anime is like.
it's probably horribly made, and it's probably like not faithful at all to the anime, which makes people so pissed.
Yeah, they're anime fans. What else do they have to do
Mhm.
except get mad at media?
Yeah.
They don't have girlfriends.
What do you mean? Yes, they do.
No, they have body pillows.
Yeah, that's their girlfriends.
That's crazy.
No, last movie I'll talk about right now, and then I'll let Noah talk about a few. Is Mixed Nuts. This is it's a Christmas movie, and it has Steve Martin in it. It has Liev Schreiber in his first ever movie.
Wait,
Adam,
what?
yeah, he plays a transgender woman.
What?
Yeah, yeah. The guy who plays Sabretooth plays a transgender woman in this movie who gets shot in the foot.
Wow. Okay.
Hey, just wait until Jack and Jill, Ryan. Where you get to watch Al
No.
Pacino try to get freaky with Adam Sandler in drag.
What do you mean Al Pacino? You mean Dunkachino?
Oh yeah, Dunkachino. Oh my
What's my
god.
name?
God, what a
Um,
terrible fucking movie.
I know. That used to be one of my favorite movies when I was a little kid, and that's how I found out I had autism because I liked that movie. We're gonna cut that out.
No, we're
Yeah,
not. Or no, we're not.
no,
We're
I think
leaving
we're
that
cutting
in.
that part out.
You know what? Yeah, yeah. I'm cutting that. Yeah, I'll cut that out when I edit this episode down. So, yeah.
All right, so
uh,
tell me a little bit more about Mixed Nuts, Ryan.
okay. So Steve Martin plays he works at or he owns a suicide prevention hotline. Um,
Why
and
are
there's
you laughing?
yeah, what's so funny about
Fantastic
that?
setup to this movie.
And there's this character named Catherine who like has a crush on him, and there's one scene where they have sex in a bathtub at the very end when they think they're gonna go to prison. Um,
All right.
and then there's this lady named Miss Munchik. She quits halfway through when she sees Steve Martin dancing with the transgender because she thinks they're gonna like fuck or something. So she quits and runs out to her car, and Steve Martin throws fruitcake at her car and it shatters her windshield. And
So this
then,
movie has no idea what it's trying to do. I'm assuming.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah. And then there's this guy walking dogs, and he walks up to her, and he's like, "What's up, Shotty?" He doesn't say that, but in essence says that. And then they go have sex on the beach. You want to know the funniest part, Nate? This movie hasn't started to get crazy yet.
Oh wow.
And then there's this other character named like Felix, and then he has a girlfriend named Gracie who's pregnant. So they're like fighting, and she before they throw the fruitcake out the window, she hits him with like the tin of fruitcake and like splits his head open. And he's like,
Fuck.
I can't afford a doctor. So they go to the vet, and the vet stitches them up. And then the guy overdoses on dog tranquilizers.
All right.
and then they and then they and then they send him to the hospital. He breaks out of the hospital. I don't remember how, but he finds a gun. And then he comes back to the apartment to like threaten everybody. And his girlfriend's like, "You're not gonna shoot me, right?" And he's like, "No." And then he shoots the transgender woman in the foot. And then
Nice.
Adam Sandler's there too, by the way. He sings a song about if the main character likes Kit Kats or almond joys.
I love how
And then
Adam
he starts,
Sandler's just there.
and then this is a little role reversal of Jack and Jill. Instead of Al Pacino falling in love with Adam Sandler falls in love with Liev Schreiber, and they start flirting. And then get ready for this:
Well, I'm ready.
the pregnant girlfriend grabs the gun, and instead of taking out the bullets, she starts firing the gun all around the room to empty it. And one of them goes through the door, and it happens to hit the landlord who was coming to help fix the elevator. And they kill the landlord.
All right.
And instead of calling the police and being like, "Oh, it was an accident. It was an accident," they hide his body in a Christmas tree by gluing like the twigs to him. And then they go carry him down to the pier to like put it there and like hang it up on display so nobody will find them. But then like they get ran over. The tree gets ran over by like a bike, and it goes flying in the air, and somehow all the branches fall off. So now there's just a dead body in the street, and the boyfriend doesn't want his girlfriend to go to prison, so he's like gonna take the fall for her. But instead of taking the fall, he goes and runs up a building and tries to shoot himself in the head. So Steve Martin's character has to talk him down from it, and he does. And then the main character comes down, and then they're going through the door, the landlord's bag, right? And they find
Mhm.
out that he's like the famous serial killer that everybody's been looking for. So the girlfriend gets a $250,000 reward, and then goes into labor. And
Nice.
it mirrors the
And
nativity scene, and Jesus is born, and the movie ends.
and it just ends that way. All right.
What a movie, right?
Yeah.
It's certainly one of the movies I've heard.
One of the movies
See,
that have been made in the history.
I think I ranked it like my 6th favorite movie of the month.
Jeez.
That's crazy work.
I did. It was right after The Crow and right before Shakes the Clown.
Bro,
But
bro,
Shakes.
that's on
what's
what?
up?
Nothing. Just go ahead.
What were you gonna say, Nate?
I wasn't gonna say anything. I just said Shakes
Uh,
the Clown.
Shakes the Clown, goated movie. Watched 45 minutes of it. Then I fell asleep, and I had no interest of rewinding it. But no, I've been yapping for a little bit. I'm gonna let you talk about some of the movies that you've seen.
All right, so I'm gonna just start from like kind of the beginning of the month. So obviously, you've talked about Fury, Kill Bill 1. I'm not gonna talk about that much actually. I should talk about the Shawshank Redemption, which was probably the best movie I've seen this month. I watched it like 3 or 4 years ago, but didn't really remember that much, and I didn't realize just how good it was. So on rewatch, it's amazing and probably one of my favorite movies ever now. But there is going to be an episode that we do on this. I think that's my pick for next month. So I'm going to kind of save what I have for that. But I did rate it a 5 stars, so you can tell that I'm going to be excited for doing that. And
I think it's second week of September that we're doing that.
yeah,
Yeah, sounds about right.
So 2 more episodes. So I'll get into that movie more when we actually do the full episode on it. And then I watched Good Will Hunting. It's also a great movie. Give it 4.5 stars. Just an amazing movie. Great performances and stuff. Matt Damon and especially Robin Williams are fantastic in the movie, and just a really, really enjoyable movie. And then what else should I talk about? I watched like some kind of mid comedies and stuff. I actually 40-Year-Old Virgin is funny though. That's actually a funny movie I watched. And then I rewatched Pulp Fiction, which I gave a 5-star. And then Terminator 2, I gave 5 stars also. That's another one I watched. But what I really want to focus my attention more on for what I'm talking about, it because it was so recent, is because I went through the entirety of all 11 Star Wars movies within like a couple days. So I kind of want to talk about that because that's just fresh on my mind right now. So it had been a while since I've watched all the Star Wars movies. I mean, I still go back to the original trilogy frequently, but not really the other stuff. So I just decided to go through everything. And so my ratings on Letterboxd for these. So first off, Phantom Menace was a 1.5 stars. I forgot that this movie was this bad. And it was kind of jarring to go back to the prequels and realize just how bad the dialogue is. And it's especially in Phantom Menace, the perform it's so weird. It's like a dude with autism wrote this dialogue. Like
Oh yeah, it
it
was
just
George
doesn't
Lucas.
it just doesn't understand like how a conversation works. I was
No,
going from watching stuff by Tarantino to watching freaking George Lucas dialogue.
now what's worse, the George Lucas dialogue or the dialogue in the room?
Well, the dialogue in the room, obviously, because at least there's like a couple of good lines in the prequels. The dialogue in the room was written by AI or something. Like I can't
I
understand
don't
know.
it.
No, when you
In
go to rewatch the Star Wars movies, do you go from release order? Or do you go like chronological?
you
I
went
went
release.
chronological this time.
Oh, you
Chronological,
did?
but is that like? Do you normally do release order?
Uh, I think I normally do chronological, but sometimes I switch it up.
When I show my kids Star Wars for the first time, I'm going chronological.
You're gonna go
I'm
chronological.
I'm
So
gonna go
for
release.
me, yeah. So for me, when I have kids, I'm definitely gonna do release order.
Yeah.
The
I
only
feel like
the only
a lot
sorry.
of the weight from the original trilogy, like Darth Vader being Luke's father and all that stuff, a lot of that weight's lost when you see the prequels first. At least in
Yeah.
my opinion.
That's
And
fair. You're right.
and also the first Star Wars movie my kid is gonna watch is not going to be the Phantom Menace. You gotta imagine like for the first time ever showing somebody Star Wars, just your kid or whoever else that somehow hasn't watched Star Wars, and you show them the Phantom Menace, they're gonna be like, "Man, this stuff is trash. I'm not watching the rest of this." So you
That's the
gotta,
mistake I made with my ex-girlfriend. I showed her Phantom Menace first.
yeah, you've got to show them the original Star Wars first before you go like, "Oh, hey, here's the Phantom Menace with all its boring politic dialogue and uh, just wooden performances and stuff." And by the way, the whole thing with the prequel trilogy that I find crazy is that they never do a movie where it's just set in the middle of the Clone Wars. They go Phantom Menace where like nothing happens, and like honestly, you take out Phantom Menace and it doesn't really change that much.
Yes, true.
But then you go Attack of the Clones, which is like how the Clone Wars starts. Okay,
Yeah, the
good.
start of the Clone Wars, and then you go to
But
the end of the Clone
then you go
Wars.
right to the end of the Clone Wars, and then it doesn't really allow us to see how Anakin slowly builds up to the dark side much, and it kind of makes like Revenge of the Sith. I really like it, but the actual turn itself still felt kind of sudden, and it's not really to the fault of Revenge of the Sith that much. It's more so just that the first two movies did not build it up well at all. Where in Attack of the Clones, he's kind of just like this whiny brat and stuff, who's really creepy, by the way, with Padme, where he like stares at her and stuff.
What do you mean? He just has game.
No, he does
Hey,
not. Game is
I mean,
not game here.
hey, did it work though?
It did.
Somehow it did.
So you're
Like I
telling
Hey,
said,
me I
just like
should be overly
just like how somehow Palpatine returned.
I'll get into that. Uh, somehow Anakin bagged Padme.
Had a line of dialogue in the Palpatine one.
Okay, so yeah. Anyway, Phantom Menace. I don't enjoy watching it at all. It sucks. Darth Maul's cool, but that's about it. And it's kind of weird how like the main character in this is Qui-Gon Jinn, but he just dies in the end, and there's no real significance for him for the rest of the trilogy. Really, it's like why wouldn't you just have
obviously didn't watch
Obi-Wan there?
Kenobi.
Well, yeah, I don't care about Kenobi. That's a Disney Plus show. I don't watch Disney Plus shows.
Wait,
They suck.
So yes, Kenobi does have the significance for Qui-Gon, but you also have to think like they did not know they were doing a Kenobi show in 1999.
Yeah.
So
well,
like
also,
you gotta look at it like that, in my opinion.
And also, it should be Anakin's trilogy, where we see him slowly get to the dark side, and we see how this all happens, how he becomes a good Jedi to Darth Vader. And why do we waste a movie on him being 9 years old, and then have Qui-Gon Jinn, who has barely any character traits in this first movie, him and Obi-Wan just delivering the most wooden and stiff performances possible? Why do we waste a movie on this and not actually get Anakin when he's more grown up, and we can actually have a good actor for him, and not like again, the Jake Lloyd hate was overblown for a little kid and stuff, but obviously it's a little awkward having a little kid play a guy of this significance with Anakin Skywalker, especially having him be 9 years old at the start is so dumb because he can't play a crucial role at all in the film.
well, to be
I'll
completely
try
honest,
spinning. That's a good trick.
Yeah, and he somehow blows up the Trade Federation thing or whatever at like 10 years old or 9, whatever he is.
So you
The thing
said
is-
a good. Sorry, Ryan, you go ahead.
well, the thing about Jake Lloyd is I feel so bad for him because Star
Yeah.
Wars fans are like literally the worst people on the planet.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like there's
But, like,
actual Nazis that fought in World War II, and then a little bit down are Star Wars fans.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
you forget Taylor Swift fans.
If a Star Wars
Yes,
fan
yeah.
doesn't like a performance, they don't just go about it like a normal person being like, oh yeah, I didn't like that performance. No, they got to go out of the way to attack the individual and stuff.
Which is,
Yeah.
I know her performance was god awful, and you'll talk about it when you get to Last Jedi. But isn't that the exact same thing they did with Rose? They
Yeah.
told her to kill herself, and she left acting forever.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, but
okay.
but
The
at
funny,
least her character wasn't even important past that. Like,
Yeah,
it's still not
because
okay. It's still not okay.
Because in Rise of Skywalker, it was literally just like, hey Rose, stay back at the base. We don't need you.
Yeah, pretty much.
Anyway.
And well, it's still not okay. The fact that
Yeah,
Rose was such
absolutely
a
not.
less important character compared to being Anakin Skywalker, literally the father of the main character from the first movie.
But even then, it's like
Like,
this like 10-year-old child or whatever, like
it's still
being so excited for being in Star Wars, and all of a sudden you're just like,
yeah.
kill yourself.
Well, it's still like it's not okay that they did that to Rose's actress too, because like I'm sure she's a great actress and she just wasn't given stuff to work with.
Yeah.
The significance to the characters doesn't stick out to me as much as it does to it being a literal child.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I guarantee the only reason Rose was bad in that movie is because Ryan Johnson's a terrorist.
Yeah, but he made Knives Out, so.
And he made the best.
He directed Ozymandias, so he's forgiven.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
J.J. Abrams didn't do shit for society. He made Mission Impossible.
Yeah, what has J.J. Abrams done?
He did Mission Impossible and Cloverfield. That's it.
I was watching a review of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood last night because I was bored, and they were talking about Quentin Tarantino. Do you guys remember when Quentin Tarantino just completely shit on J.J. Abrams?
Wait, he did? Oh, I like him even more now.
Yeah.
I don't.
So-
now you're gonna have to send me the link to that video later.
Even
it's
more
like a
respect
30
now for Tarantino.
No, but so there was a long time ago. By a long time ago, I mean like 6-7 years ago, where Tarantino was talking about directing a Star Trek film. And he was talking about bringing it back to like the roots with like just Spock and Captain Kirk. He's like, what the fuck is a Kelvin? I don't know what this fucking idiot J.J. Abrams is doing. I don't know what any of this shit means. Fuck that guy. He sucks. Like, that's an interview that he had. I love Tarantino. He's great.
Yeah.
Except he's a weird foot fetishist, which is kind of scary.
No, okay, so Tarantino's probably like a really weird dude, I bet, in real life, because I mean, just watches movies. But the dude is really good at making movies, though.
Yeah.
But anyway,
So Noah, before we move on to Attack of the Clones, for you at least, you had mentioned like not having a child actor and having a good actor for Anakin, right?
yeah.
So how do you feel about Hayden Christensen as Anakin?
Turned him
Little
against
conflicted
me.
because
Just from your perspective from the prequels, because obviously you didn't
from the
watch any of the
prequels,
stuff that he's been in recently.
I don't think he does a bad job in Revenge of the Sith, but in Attack of the Clones, yikes! It's pretty rough in Attack of the Clones, but also you can attribute that to the terrible dialogue he had to say. So I don't really know if it's him or the direction or the dialogue or whatever, but I'm a little conflicted about it, and I didn't really enjoy it too much. But in Revenge of the Sith, he is actually solid though. He improved much more from Attack of the Clones, so maybe that's just because of the writing. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that almost
I
proves that it was bad writing in Attack of the Clones.
Yeah,
I only asked that question because I've watched Ahsoka and I've watched Kenobi,
I haven't watched
and
Ahsoka, but I've watched Kenobi.
Hayden Christensen plays Anakin again in both of those shows, and I think
yeah,
he does a fantastic job. So
Yeah, he's a good actor.
yeah, so I guess this also kind of ties into that Jake Lloyd thing, where like he got a shit ton of hate
oh yeah, he
for
did.
his portrayal of Anakin, and it wasn't
Which
until like till very recently where fans were like, "Hey, maybe he didn't do such a bad job, and maybe they were just bad movies."
Yep.
and the like. Sorry, I muted myself. My bad. It's not that it makes it okay, but like Hayden Christensen was at least an adult when he was in these movies. Like 2 years prior, Star Wars fans were bullying a fucking kid, like an
Yeah.
actual 9-year-old who had to go home and do his fucking coloring homework and drink his juice box for fourth grade.
Yeah, so I've always been a very big Hayden Christensen supporter because I always thought he did what he could with what he did. It's kind of like
Andrew
I kind of
Garfield.
attribute it. Yes, Andrew Garfield. I wasn't gonna say Andrew Garfield because
I mean, it
I
was
like the Amazing Spider-Man movies.
it was I mean,
Of course you
with
do.
Andrew Garfield, it's pretty obvious that he was still doing a solid job there though, because the dialogue. The problem with the Amazing Spider-Man movies wasn't really the dialogue; it was more so just plot,
The
the
story.
stupid plot
The
elements and
story.
stuff. Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
specifically in the second one. The first one's not that bad. It's okay. It's
I
watchable.
I think the dialogue in the Amazing Spider-Man movies overall is actually pretty good. I think it's just they tried to do so much with so little time.
Well, especially in the second one. But anyway, we're getting a little off
Yeah,
topic. But I really don't like the second one. But anyway, we could talk about
no,
that some other time. I guess if I
yeah.
ever do a Spider-Man marathon or something again.
I'll be doing a Spider-Man marathon soon.
I'll do it with you.
You know, so
With
what I was gonna compare it to. You said Andrew Garfield. I was gonna say, and this might be a controversial take. I was gonna say Jesse Eisenberg in Batman vs Superman.
No.
no,
Well, no. So I didn't like the casting, but I think Jesse Eisenberg with the script he was given, I think he played the character to the best of his ability.
the problem is the character sucks though.
Yeah, like, but it's kind of like the same thing here. Like Anakin sucked in these movies,
Yeah.
but Hayden Christensen, I don't think did a horror. Like Attack of the Clones was bad. There was one really good scene at the Tusken Raider camp where goes like batshit. That was really good.
Mm-hmm.
And then in Revenge of the Sith, it was kind of more the same for like the first 45-ish minutes to an hour, where it's more just like whiny Anakin. And
Yeah.
then
Not really. He wasn't whiny in there. He was actually like a normal person to start
I
Revenge of
need,
the Sith and stuff. He was actually likable there.
I'm gonna have to rewatch Revenge of the Sith
Yeah.
then. 'Cause
Did we watch the same like first act or whatever when they were on that mission to save Palpatine? Like
yeah,
he actually seemed like pretty cool.
I haven't watched it in a while, so
No.
my memory could be a little skewed, but like
Yeah.
still, like he wasn't.
That's like the
I don't.
only time in the entire trilogy where Obi-Wan and Anakin seemed like friends. Was in
Yeah, that's
that
fair.
mission.
But what I was gonna say is like right when Mace Windu confronts Palpatine before he kills Mace Windu. Like right there, I feel like someone turned a switch in his brain and he just became a completely different actor.
He did a good job throughout most of Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah, which is why Revenge of the Sith is my third favorite Star Wars.
That's where I put it too. But anyway, on Attack of the Clones, just want to wrap things up. So, probably one of my biggest complaints throughout the entire prequel trilogy is just with Obi-Wan and Anakin, where, and especially in Attack of Clones, this is the specific problem here, where they are at odds the entirety of the thing and split up, by the way. So we're literally just like told that they're friends through like that one elevator scene at the beginning where they just kind of like talk about stories or whatever, and we never like see anything or never, and like by their actions, we can't even tell that they're friends at all. And it's just like they missed such an opportunity with building up their friendship, and they could have started that in Phantom Menace if they didn't make Anakin a literal child, but whatever.
So,
And
which
then
is worse, Attack of the Clones or Phantom Menace?
Phantom Menace, because Attack of the Clones, I can actually have like some fun, like laughing at the terrible dialogue. Phantom Menace is just super boring. But
Okay.
anyway,
I don't agree, but I can see where you're coming from.
anyway, Revenge of the Sith. I don't really need to say that much about it. This is great. It's pretty impressive that it's this good, despite how bad the first two movies are. It fixes so many things and has some of the best parts of Star Wars, but there definitely are still a few issues with it. But I think it did the best it could with how bad of a start the prequels had. So now, with the original trilogy, this is the only part I actually fully enjoyed, which is funny because I love Star Wars, but most of my watch was watching bad movies. But okay, so the original Star Wars, I'm not even going to call it A New Hope. That's a trash name, and that's what it is on Letterboxd. So yeah, so I watched the actual original cut, which is I downloaded it. It's called Harmy's Despecialized Edition, where he kind of like combined different sources or whatever to make an actual high quality version of the theatrical version, because there's like some DVD that was from like the early 2000s or whatever, but it's like terrible quality, and like the aspect ratio is off or whatever, so it's kind of cropped weird on the screen and stuff. So with the despecialized edition, it's actually full quality and can actually fit on your TV screen and stuff. And it fixes like the issue, because honestly, with the special editions, I think they butchered this movie the most.
Yeah,
but so it's awesome watching the actual original cut. And
you're gonna have to send me that download link, because I've actually never seen the original theatrical release of Star Wars.
Yeah,
Nate, I have it on DVD. When you come over, we'll watch it.
Yeah. Okay. Because I'm actually quite excited to see, because the first time I watched the original Star Wars was in the box set that they put out in like the late 2000s.
Yeah. I think that's what I was talking about. Where it's like it wasn't even like from the original cut. It was like because I watched like it's kind of like a little documentary thing on how they made this thing, and it was like it's like really low quality, and it was like ripped from like some laser disc thing or whatever from the 90s.
Yeah.
So it was
And
like
then,
they were really lazy with it.
Yeah, and then they've got the Disney Plus releases now, which are fine. They're fine, but they're not the original. They're not the original, which I've never seen. And as a Star Wars fan, I actually really enjoy watching that.
It's crazy.
Even when they released it to VHS, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there.
That's all right.
Even when they released it to VHS, like it wasn't even the original release there. Like they still made post theatrical release edits on VHS.
Yeah, because they changed the title to A New Hope, like a few only like during the trilogy when it was still going on and doing that, I think.
Yeah, I think they did that just to make sure every movie had a tagline, which is fine. I don't mind that. But call it Star Wars.
Yeah. But anyway, going into like the actual stuff with the movie, I mean, this is my favorite Star Wars movie. I think like Empire. I mean, you could make a good argument for that being a better movie, but I think this one is just like the perfect hero's journey movie where the pacing is perfect. You've got great characters, great dialogue. Yes, George Lucas actually wrote great dialogue here. Surprising when you look at what happened in the prequels, and the effects are absolutely groundbreaking. Like, there's a couple moments that you can obviously notice, especially when watching the original version, where it's like, oh, that looks a little bit fake. But it's 47 years old, and the fact that there's only a few shots where I'm like, oh, that doesn't look good, because like it was pretty much all practical, using practical like model ships or whatever. So that is so impressive about this, and obviously John Williams' score, like for the first time making this, because like the obviously with the sequels and some of the prequels, there's kind of like rehashed scores, especially in the sequels, rehashed scores from John Williams. So it's awesome saying like this is the first time he made scores for Star Wars, and I mean,
as we've established, I'm a huge enjoyer of good movie scores, and I think this is like the example of
yeah,
a good score.
especially with
Like,
how much music there is in the movie.
yeah, so Star Wars is a fantastic one. Pirates of the Caribbean is another really good one. How to Train Your Dragons really slept on. Yeah, so good scores. I think this is the first, like the original good score,
Yeah,
because A New Hope. I'm just gonna call it that so we can differentiate it. It released in what, 74?
77.
77.
I honestly would say this isn't even John Williams' first big score though. He did Jaws before this, which is the da na na na
Yeah,
na na na, which is like huge.
yeah.
I think
I
Jaws
mean,
came out after this.
no,
No,
Jaws was the year before,
Jaws is 75.
Oh,
or two
yeah, it
years
is.
before, I guess. Yeah,
Yeah, but that's like one iconic track in the sound in the whole score. Like the entirety of Star Wars is iconic.
That's
true.
fair. That's fair.
That's how I'm looking at it. Like I'm not
Yeah.
looking at it like, because even when you look at it, like Star Wars is still like the Star Wars main theme is still more iconic than the Jaws main theme. But the
Yeah.
whole score of the original Star Wars is just full of such good tracks.
Yeah. Oh, and
Did
by the
Jaws,
way, just a little heads up. I'm probably gonna have to leave in like 20 minutes or something. So I might leave like before the end of this. So just letting you guys know. So I'll get my part done, and then I'll probably have to leave.
okay.
But anyway, so wrapping up with A New Hope or Star Wars, whatever you want to call it. I think it's pretty much a perfect movie for me. I mean, obviously you could point out like some little nitpicks and stuff, but it really doesn't matter. It's such an enjoyable movie to watch, and like I could put it on like any night and just enjoy myself doing it. If I just want to have fun watching a movie, I'll go watch that. But now moving on to Empire, which in a lot of ways is better than A New Hope, but personally I just enjoy A New Hope more. And I mean, a lot of sequels at that time were usually let down, so it's incredible that this sequel was actually better in a lot of ways than than the last movie, especially with how good it was. And I mean that fight at the end with Luke and Vader, and obviously the iconic twist with Vader being Luke's father is absolutely incredible. One of the best scenes in the entire saga. And yeah, I mean, it's just a fantastic movie. I really can't point out anything that would really bug me at all. And again, I watched the despecialized edition, so I have all three that I watched despecialized. Except with Return of the Jedi, I actually kind of went to. I just watched the victory celebration scene where it's like the different score or whatever, and not the weird Ewok song. So I did that with Return of the Jedi, but overall,
Wait,
Yeah,
Empire.
you don't like the
Get five
Ewok Yub
stars.
Jub song?
No, I don't. I mean, okay, it's not bad, but it's like, especially when I'm watching it all chronologically and want it to be the end of what I consider the canon saga, because screw Disney.
Yeah,
That
you don't
fits
need
way
to talk
more.
about those ones if you don't want to.
No, I'm talking about them because I got to
oh, he
rant.
wants.
I want to. All right, I watch bad movies and I got to rant. But anyway, Return of the Jedi, I gave 4 stars. It's pretty good. The first 2 acts are it's kind of bad pacing at times and can get a little dragged on. But that third act is some of the best stuff in Star Wars and really pulls it all together. I mean, the first 2 acts aren't bad. It's not like Rogue One or anything, but and I'll get into that soon. But it's obviously flawed and stuff, and some performances aren't as good, especially with Harrison Ford. But it still comes together and is great. And the core heart of it is between Luke and Vader, and all of their scenes are absolutely amazing, and their final fight is awesome and emotional. And then obviously with Vader turning back to the light side was such a powerful moment, and it sucks that somehow Palpatine returned after this. So anyway, let's get on to the Disney Star Wars stuff so I can rant a little bit, although I'm probably not going to rant as much as I want to. But, maybe sometime in the future, like next year or something, we do a full Star Wars episode, or multiple episodes actually it would take. But for Rogue One, I give 3 stars. Just going to go through this quickly. First 2 acts are trash, or not trash, but pretty mediocre. Third act is great, but overall that doesn't make it a great movie, and I think a lot of people overrate it. But it's still the best Disney Star Wars. Anyway, Solo made me feel absolutely nothing. It is a movie that is just fine, and that's it. And there's a lot of stupid moments too, especially where we get like an origin for Han Solo, for Han Solo's name or whatever.
Yeah, shout out Donald Glover though.
Yeah, Donald Glover, he was okay, but his stupid freaking robot really killed everything there. Where they get like this
Dude, that was
feminist
the best
robot or
part.
something. No, it wasn't. I was cheering when the robot got shot and died.
As you should.
Yeah. So okay, Solo made me feel nothing. It was a movie that was just nothing and pointless. On to Force Awakens. I give it 2 stars. This is the one where I think my opinion changed the most on rewatch, because I used to think this movie was good. I was very wrong. So it all lies in the whole world building and setup for this, where we literally revert back to Empire versus Rebels. What did the Republic or Rebellion or whatever it is do after Return of the Jedi? They had peace, and then only 3 decades later, it all of a sudden turns to the Rebellion is trash now, and the Empire is risen again. And I'm going to refer to it as Empire and Rebels because that's what they are. I don't care about the First Order or Resistance names; those are terrible. And it literally just turns back into what the originals were, to make it just a soft reboot of A New Hope, where we rehash so many things. But that's not even the biggest issues with it. Obviously, we all know Rey is a Mary Sue. She does literally everything fine. There's no flaws in her character. She's perfect, and that causes there to be absolutely nothing to connect with her. Finn is, a good setup, but also, character can be a little inconsistent at times. But overall, I think they actually kind of had a planned arc for him. It wasn't the best executed, but they actually tried with that. And what else did I write in here? Kylo Ren is decent, but then he gets beat by Rey somehow, who has never used a lightsaber. So that was stupid at the end. And there's so many other plot holes in it and unanswered questions that J.J. Abrams loves. Like, Anakin's lightsaber somehow randomly appears and Maz has it, and it's just like, good question for another time. and especially an important question is, how did Han lose the Millennium Falcon? Like, bro just doesn't care about anything anymore. Because that's really like Han's character. Literally, he just reverts back to what he was at the beginning of A New Hope, where he's just a smuggler, and they completely ruin the relationship between Leia and Han. Like, they literally brought. This is what the sequel trilogy does. They bring back these characters just to be old and grumpy and not like themselves at all. Like, just don't even include them then. If you're gonna do that, like, it's so annoying. But Harrison Ford wasn't bad, at least as Han Solo. He had some enjoyable lines and stuff like, "That's not how the Force works," or whatever. That was kind of a fun moment. But outside of that, a lot of the attempts at humor here are just trash, especially throughout the other 2 movies, in Last Jedi specifically. But yeah, overall, this one sucks. Yeah. I don't like this anymore. I used to be like, "Oh, it's the only good sequel." No, there's not a good sequel.
No.
And then Last Jedi. This one is strange. Really, really bad at times, but then sometimes Rian Johnson has some decent ideas, but he just doesn't build off of them at all for the sake of subverting expectations or just like dropping a possible plot point. Like we think
Mhm.
Kylo might return to the light side again or something, and then all of a sudden he's just like, "Yeah, Rey, join me, and together we can rule the galaxy," or whatever, just like what Vader said to Luke. And of course, and then they destroy Anakin's lightsaber, which is funny because Rise of Skywalker just repairs it right away, so that moment meant nothing. Uh, and then Luke Skywalker is absolutely butchered. I think everybody with a brain knows this. They turn him into the biggest coward in the entire universe, who's old and grumpy. Him and Rey could have actually had a cool dynamic they developed, but instead they just have them have conflicts the entire time, and they hate each other, and nothing gets resolved between them. So yeah, and then the and also when Luke confronts Kylo Ren, first off, is a Force ghost, which I hate, and then he doesn't even like try to plead with him to like turn back to the light side or try to do anything. He just antagonizes him and makes fun of him, and then says "See you around, kid," and then dies. So yeah, and the Canto Bight subplot is absolutely awful. One of the worst moments in the entirety of Star Wars, where the plot goes absolutely nowhere, and Rose is absolutely annoying. We all know this, though, especially in the part where she says some BS about saving the ones you love or whatever. When Finn was trying to sacrifice himself for the good of his friends, but instead she's like, "Oh yeah, let's go save him," even though I probably could have killed myself doing this. And what else is there? I mean, the entirety of the plot just doesn't really make any sense. The whole plot lies off of, oh, there's fuel for ships now, and we're running out of fuel, even though we've been flying for a long time here. And this whole thing of tracking through hyperspace too, like that's going to create so many plot holes for future films if Disney even makes any more after this.
I
Oh,
hope
they are.
not.
They are. They've already announced they're doing one with Keanu Reeves, and they're going to do a movie with Ray in it again.
Oh,
Okay, well,
wonderful.
I will not be there.
Me neither. I'll watch them when they come to streaming, just because it's Star
Yeah,
Wars.
no,
I won't.
I'll just actually
I won't
legally
go.
I shouldn't say that. Anyway, the only good thing about Last Jedi is that it's shot really well, and it looks absolutely gorgeous. But that can't save it from being a terribly written script. Anyway,
I will
what
say
were you
this
saying?
for Last Jedi. At least they tried to do something different.
Yeah, they
Like it,
fell flat on their
it did,
face, but yeah,
it didn't work, but at least they tried to do something different. Like that was such a big uh complaint about Force Awakens was that it was just A New Hope again. So
honestly, I think that
at least they
detracts from the
tried.
real problems of Force Awakens, where it has way more problems than just trying to be a New Hope. Because if it was actually copying A New Hope fully, it would have actually been a good movie, but it wasn't. It just took like a couple elements, and
Uh-huh.
then the things that they actually had as original ideas were just absolutely awful. Besides Finn, Finn was kind of cool,
Biggest wasted character in Star Wars history,
And
by the
Kylo's
way.
okay, yeah. But anyway, on to
Well,
Rise of Skywalker. What were you gonna say, Ryan? Before we get into this,
if you think Ryan Johnson's a terrorist, then J.J. Abrams is like Osama bin Laden. Like,
he is because he made Rise of Skywalker, which I gave a 1 star. So it's quite awful, especially for a film with like a $200 million budget or whatever it was. So this just shows that money can't buy a good script. So this is one of the stupidest movies I have watched. So somehow Palpatine returned. This is where you know that this movie is going to be the worst Star Wars movie. The idea of Palpatine returning is the stupidest idea Star Wars has ever had. Where
Holy shit!
they just completely undermine the entirety of the original trilogy and Anakin's sacrifice. Like, what's the point of Anakin being the chosen one if Palpatine's just going to be alive the entire time? And also, why is Palpatine just now returning? Why didn't he return at the beginning? How the hell did he create Snoke? How did he? What has he been doing for 30 years because he supposedly survived, or did he just randomly appear out of nowhere? Like, this is the problem with the sequels, where they didn't have any plan. It's just two directors just throwing fits over what each other did and having no plan and not even working together and just fighting. And yeah, so there's a bunch of fake out deaths in this movie. It's a convoluted plot. It makes no sense. There's so many things they try to do, so many random characters they introduce but do nothing with, and they introduce the idea of force healing. I shouldn't even have to explain why that's stupid, especially when Kylo does it and then he just freaking dies for some reason. But of course, Rey doesn't die because she's Rey and she can do everything. And also, the whole reason Anakin was enticed by the dark side is because he could with the dark side, you could possibly heal somebody and stop like Padme from dying, and that was the big reason why he went to the dark side, because he was enticed by that power. But apparently, Rey can just do it now with not even a year of training, I think, because I don't think this is even like a year after Last Jedi or something. Like these 3 movies take place within like a year, I think, and Rey just can do things that even the Chosen One couldn't. I guess Anakin's not the Chosen One anymore; it's just Rey because she's Rey. Yeah, there's so many other stupid moments. Hux was like, "Oh, I am the spy" for some reason. That was a hilarious moment.
I just
Not
need
in
Kylo Ren to lose.
yeah, so stupid, bro. Just came out of nowhere. And of course, the final punch in the balls to every Star Wars fan is when Rey randomly is like, "Hey, let me be a Skywalker now" at the end. And
Oh.
yeah,
Oh.
so Rise of Skywalker is horrible. I hate it, and I don't want to watch it again. But let me
All
talk
right.
about a good movie to end this
Hold
off.
on, no. Before you get into that, I want you to guess what you think the budget for Rise of Skywalker was.
250 million.
All right, Ryan, what do you think it was?
251 million.
Oh,
Four hundred
here you go.
16 million.
No,
Oh fuck yeah! I was closer. Fuck you.
$416 million budget.
there's no way.
It's what Wikipedia said.
What? You are right. How? It's the third. That's not even the most expensive movie ever
Wait.
made, though. How?
Wait, how much was it? 400 million?
416.
Your budget's 416 million, and you can't hire one fucking writer that says somehow Palpatine returned is a bad fucking line. Are you hiring from
Dude,
like a fucking
and
special needs school or some shit?
the problem is they literally give no attempt at an explanation for saying why Palpatine is back.
I know,
Like
I was.
they could have just said, "Oh, we don't know," and that would have been so much better.
The only attempt they have is when like the one random dude after Poe says somehow Palpatine returned. He was like, "Oh, like dark secrets only the Sith knew, cloning and stuff or whatever." And it's just like, so Palpatine's a clone or something? What? How are we gonna explain this movie? No, okay.
Nuh-uh.
The writers of the
They
sequel
could have
trilogy
had
just don't want
Poe.
us to ask questions.
Oh my god, they could have had Poe literally just say, "I don't know" or "We don't know," and it would have been a much better line. Like it still would have been bad because they didn't give us an explanation.
Okay,
But the fact
it's not even just
that
the
they're
line
like
itself.
somehow Palpatine returned, like that's the fact. It's the fact that it's like even the screenwriters don't know.
Yeah. I don't even know. I still, to this day, don't even know what the actual reason of his return is, because the movie never says it. There's probably something you can look up from like some Star Wars nerd that explains it from like some book or something. But I'm not going to read that because it should have been explained in the movie. I shouldn't have to read a book to explain a key plot point in the movie, which is a guy who blew up twice, by the way. Once in like the reactor shaft, and then the other time when the Death Star actually blew up. So, not really sure how he's alive, but anyway. So let's talk about a good movie. Inglourious Bastards. Watched that last night. Amazing. My second favorite Tarantino movie. I've only got 3 Tarantino movies to go. And of course, as always, Tarantino makes very entertaining movie, great script, unlike Rise of Skywalker. Actually knows how to write a movie and write good dialogue. That's not somehow Palpatine returned. And, this movie, watching this after the Disney Star Wars movies, really revived my faith in good movies. That's all I got.
What if you found out like tomorrow that Quentin Tarantino was the lead writer for Rise of Skywalker? What would you do?
Uh, I don't know. I would have said like, did you develop autism writing this or something?
Is that why you haven't come out with a new movie since then? Because you can't write anymore?
Yeah. I'd be like, that explains why Tarantino has had a 5-year layoff.
Wait, did it Once
He
Upon a
used-
Time in Hollywood come out after it, or did that come out the
No,
same
I think
year?
it was before, because like Rise of Skywalker was like tail end of 2019, so it must have been
Yeah.
before.
That
Once
makes
Upon a
sense.
Time in Hollywood was like July 2018. It was supposed to be in October of 2018 when the Sharon Tate murders happened, but the family of Sharon Tate wanted to move up the release date, so it wasn't like at the same time.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood came out July 26th of 2019.
Oh, 2019.
So just
Fuck.
Oh,
yeah, just
it was
before.
2019, stupid.
No,
My
I
bad,
was just
gang.
I was just looking it up because I didn't know the date.
No, he's calling me stupid because I said it was 2018.
Honestly, did you? I thought you said 2019.
No, I said 2018 because that's what I thought it was. But yeah, that makes sense. It came out when I was going into my sophomore year of high school. That makes sense.
Yeah, Inglorious Bastards, good movie. My
Yeah,
favorite
very good.
Tarantino.
It's
I'd say
my
I have it as my second behind Pulp Fiction.
what did I say? My favorite. I think it's like my third or
Reservoir
fourth.
Dogs
Yeah,
is your
I know
favorite, I
what my
believe.
favorite is.
That's
But
a good one.
I can't remember where I put.
I think you put it like top 3. Like for Glorious Bastards, if you're referring to that.
I feel like it'd be disingenuous to not have that top 3.
Yeah.
I mean, when it comes to which one's your favorite, it's not like any of them are bad movies.
I
You
guess.
know,
I guess you're right.
I had Inglorious Bastards 3. Yeah, mine went Reservoir Dogs, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Inglorious Bastards, Django, Pulp Fiction, Kill Bill 1, and then Kill Bill 2. And I haven't seen Jackie Brown, so I didn't rank that one. Or Hateful Eight.
Yeah.
Hateful Eight's good. I like Hateful Eight.
You seem like the
Yeah.
type of person that like Hateful Eight.
It's a good
Yeah.
movie.
Nate likes Hateful Eight, so don't watch it.
I also
I'm
like
kidding, I'm
Django.
kidding. Well, yeah, but like that movie's too good not to like.
You know the saying, a blind mouse finds cheese every once in a while.
I don't think
Yeah,
that's
a blind squirrel finds a nut once in a while or something.
That's what
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah. Bro butchered that saying, just like how
Broken
the
clocks
Last
right twice a
Jedi.
day.
Yeah, that just like how the Last Jedi butchered Luke Skywalker's character. But anyway,
I will say, like, as bad as The Last Jedi is, I do appreciate the fact that even though it didn't work, at least they tried to establish a story.
I mean, you could say like one of the stupidest you could say like with Tommy Wiseau, The Room, like he tried something new
No,
with
Tommy
writing a
Wiseau
movie.
didn't try shit.
No.
He didn't try anything.
With writing a movie about aliens in human form, that was something a new idea because there's no way real humans uttered that dialogue.
No, The Last Jedi is bad. I think it still would be bad, but it wouldn't be looked on as bad if they actually went forward with the plot lines they established previously instead of just retconning everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I mean the movie itself still sucks.
Yeah, the movie itself was still going to be bad, but I
And
think
also their problem
it
was
could
trusting
have been
J.J.
better.
Abrams to they were trusting J.J. Abrams to actually conclude a story instead of just setting up random mystery boxes. And even then,
Yeah.
when J.J. Abrams set up a trilogy, he still made a terrible movie with Force Awakens.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, the only good, quote unquote, good trilogy was the Cloverfield trilogy.
Well, did he do a Star Trek trilogy that also sucked? Or did he only make like 2?
Probably.
I think there's 3, but yeah. Yeah, that also. I mean, I don't actually know if they suck because I don't watch Star Trek.
Oh, apparently he only directed one Star Trek movie, the 2009 one, which did suck because I remember watching it. Carl Urban's in that movie.
He is.
Okay,
And
I
has
think
no
I'm.
beard.
Sorry.
Yeah, yeah, we can wrap it up if you gotta go.
Okay, yeah. Well, I mean, you can continue with Nate stuff, and it's just like you two here. But
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
Nate,
yeah.
it's up to
I don't.
you.
I don't have much. I just wanted to talk about Daredevil for a minute.
no.
If no,
Okay. So,
you want to give some thoughts about Daredevil before you go.
well, I kind of got to go like right now. I got it up to like the last moment before leaving. So,
Nah,
yeah.
you're good.
Okay. So, see you guys later. Nate and Ryan are gonna
Later.
conclude this one off. So, talking about Daredevil. So, yeah. I'll see you guys next week.
Don't forget to follow them on Letterboxd.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah,
So, what are your
Daredevil.
opinions on Daredevil?
I mean, easily the best Marvel show that I've seen.
Yeah, I think that's
Lo-
pretty undebatable.
Loki is very good. Loki's a good show. I think it's definitely close. I think Daredevil's better just because they didn't try to condense it into 6 episodes per season like
Yeah.
they're doing now.
Mhm.
Which I'm very glad they're not doing with Daredevil Born Again. I think they said it's gonna be 24 episodes.
Ooh, I like that.
and that's coming out in March. So super excited for that. But
March.
yeah, yeah, you're gonna miss a little bit of it, I think, but
Yeah, probably. It's fine. Imagine it's just you watch it one time and then it goes away forever.
yep. But yeah, Charlie Cox obviously fantastic as Matt
Mhm.
Murdock. Very
Yeah.
humorous. I like the fact that he was able to portray being a blind man without act, and he did it
Oh,
well.
you didn't hear he actually gouged his eyes out for this role.
He splashed chemicals in his eyes for this role.
He actually gave himself superpowers. Is the guy who plays Foggy gonna be in the new show too?
I believe everybody in the original show is going to be in the new show.
Let's go.
I can look that up real quick just to make sure. I
He is.
know. I know that. Yep. Oh, and Punisher's going to be in it too.
Yep, I knew that because I saw the picture of them together
Oh
kissing
yeah,
and
that makes
cuddling.
sense. They also announced that Ben Poindexter is going to be back as Bullseye, which is going to be really cool.
Ooh.
Yeah, Charlie Cox was great. Vincent D'Onofrio, fantastic. I
Mhm.
I remember when I first watched the show back in like 2018. I
Mhm.
think that was like a year after it had just ended on Netflix,
Mhm.
and I decided to binge watch it on Netflix. And I remember seeing that I was like, I don't know how I feel about Vincent D'Onofrio because he's not like huge in stature like the Kingpin is in the comics.
Mhm.
Which, granted, like they can't really achieve that without CGI.
Yeah, yeah.
But he played that character really well. I liked the dynamic they have between Murdoch and Fisk.
Mhm.
I like how they establish how good of a detective lawyer Foggy is by having him basically find out that
Mhm.
Matt's Daredevil.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, yeah, it's a great show. I mean,
It is. I really have to do a rewatch of it. I started a rewatch with my ex girlfriend like a year and a half ago, and I watched like 5 episodes and then we never finished it. So I got to rewatch it.
yeah, highly recommend it. If if they make Daredevil Born Again suck, I will never watch another MCU project again.
Yes, I agree. Except Spider Man, I'll still watch Spider Man.
Nope, I won't even watch Spider Man, and I love Spider
Wow,
Man. It will
that's
only
bold
be
coming.
I if Daredevil is my second favorite hero.
From
If they mess up because everything is already there for them. Everything is
Yeah.
already in place for them to make it good. They just need a good writing room and they need to keep the directors, which I think they are. They're keeping the
Mhm.
directors.
From what I heard, yes.
They just need the writing room to be good, which is the thing I'm worried the most about when it comes to
Mhm.
Daredevil Born Again.
That's the thing
Oh,
I'm worried the most about when it comes to most MCU projects these days.
yeah. Also, I found out that Charlie Cox is British the other day.
You didn't know that?
Uh, well, I never heard him talk outside of being Matt Murdock.
I watched him in a show where he played a British dude, so that's probably why I knew.
So I saw like he was doing like a fan meetup at a Comic Con somewhere, and I heard him talk. I was like,
Mhm.
this motherfucker's British.
He was in
Why do
this
all
really
the
good show.
why do
It was
all
called.
the all my favorite characters have to be played by British people?
He was in this really good show called Treason that came out in 2022. Pretty good.
I'll put it in the list. Yeah,
It's a
Daredevil
mini
is
series.
probably miniseries. All right, what's it on?
I think it was. Let me see. I think Netflix maybe. Yep, Netflix.
I'll give it a watch if I find it. Yeah, I don't. The only thing I watched this month that was really bad was The Room.
Yeah, The Room. I didn't hate. I know you lost your mind when you watched that movie. Have you found it yet?
What, treason? I haven't
No, your
looked.
mind. No, your mind after you
Oh
lost it.
no, it's still gone. I'm. Don't even get me
You're
started
like
on The Room. I
you're
can't
like the
talk about The
Pix.
Room anymore.
You're like the Pixies song now. Where's my mind?
I'm like the eye when the Pixar lamp comes in.
See,
Yeah,
you got lucky because The Room was the by far the worst thing you watched this month. I watched two things worse than The Room.
yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to. I think I'm gonna start my. What's the date today? The 29th.
Yeah, yeah.
I think I'm gonna start my Spider-Man rewatch in September, which I am really excited for. But at the same time,
Mhm.
I have to watch Spider-Man 3 and The Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Spider-Man 3 is not that bad. It has one of my favorite actors in it, so that makes it at least somewhat enjoyable.
Who, Topher Grace?
Yes, I'm a big Topher Grace fan.
Of course you are.
Dude, that '70s show is such a good show.
Yeah, it is, but he's not Venom.
No, no. Well, he is, but
But no, he's not. I heard I just said Topher Grace and I remembered how he plays David Duke in Black Klansman.
you know, it's funny. He plays David Duke well in Black Klansman,
Yeah, he does.
which is
But
a
yeah,
little
if
scary.
yeah, it is. I think I could play David Duke pretty well.
Oh, you definitely could.
All
We'll
right.
do it. We'll do it for on the Patreon.
No, no, ruin my career. All right.
We'll remake Black Klansman.
Yeah. So Daredevil was obviously the best thing I watched this month.
Mhm,
I didn't rank anything. I just wrote down everything I watched. This might take a second. After that, I'd
mhm,
probably have to go Deadpool and Wolverine.
mhm.
Actually, no. Daredevil, then Django, then Deadpool and Wolverine. Then Loki, then Back to the Future, Moon Knight, Hawkeye, The Room.
Okay, I'll rank mine. Django, Deadpool, Wolverine, Longlegs, Fury, The Crow, Mixed Nuts, Shakes the Clown, The Room, Borderlands, and Going Overboard.
The
Those are the
fact that
10 movies I watched.
Borderlands, I didn't think you could get worse than Borderlands for this month.
I didn't either.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
maybe I think we're gonna have to talk to Noah and think of for a good September recap at the end of the Sandlot episode. We could do
yeah,
like how he did Star Wars, and I'm gonna do
mhm.
Spider Man. Maybe you could do like Pirates of the Caribbean or something. I don't
Ooh, I might do that. My September is pretty jam packed because I got to get through 60 fucking Adam Sandler movies.
know.
But I'll see.
Yeah, no, you don't. No, you don't.
I know Goodfellas is next week, right?
Uh, yes, Goodfellas is next week, so that's
Ooh,
yeah.
are we are we
We've got a good month. We've got a good month.
are we, are we watching Goodfellas when you pull up?
Probably not.
Ah, what the
Oh,
hell?
we're not to record on a day later.
Well, yeah, we're remember beginning of September we're moving to Saturdays.
Oh, that's right. That's right. That's right.
Oh, let me tell the podcast. This is gonna be our last episode recording on a Thursday, just because stuff with Noah going to school and all that. So we're moving to Saturdays. Which what does that mean for our lovely fans? You'll get the episodes on Sunday, so it just moves you back a day. So it's not
Yeah.
that big of a deal.
Or we haven't decided fully yet. We might record on Fridays too.
Yeah,
Well, we'll
we'll
figure
figure
it
it
out
out.
as we go along. Episodes are going to
Mhm.
come out on Sunday,
Yeah.
regardless whether we record on Saturday or
Mhm.
Friday.
I'm the
But yeah,
quickest video editor in the world, so I'll get them up.
we've got a good month of September. Goodfellas, Shawshank, Nice Guys, and Sandlot.
And You know what the bad movie is?
Yeah, The Sandlot.
Shitty ass movie.
We got a good month coming up.
We do. I'm excited for this month. I'm excited for October.
Did you choose your horror movie yet?
I think I'm gonna go. Does the thing? Do you get scared easily?
I mean, no, but I'm not watching
No.
13 Ghosts.
No, not as much as I'd love to make 13 go. We'll do 13 ghosts when we hit 1,000,000 subscribers, which will never happen. So,
if if we hit 1,000,000 subscribers, I will subject myself to 13 Ghosts again.
I'll watch it with you, so you're not too scared. No, I think I'm gonna do Hereditary probably, just because one Scream is definitely a movie that I could do like in like June because it's not that much of a horror movie, so I could just like throw it whenever. But
Yeah, I guess.
Hereditary is like a horror movie, so and it's scary, so I will do that.
I've never seen it.
It's good. It's definitely the best horror movie to come out in the last 10 years.
Oh, I'm excited. But yeah, I think that's just gonna about wrap it up. I know we said this was gonna be shorter, and it ended up being like the same length anyway.
Well, that's because we're liars. Um, but yeah,
It'll still be shorter. It'll be like 20 minutes shorter than a normal episode.
yeah, which isn't too bad. But yeah, we will catch you guys next week for Goodfellas. That video will be out on a Sunday, like we just said. So yeah.
All right, appreciate you guys watching. Catch you guys next week.
All right. Later, guys.